to apologize. That was another AEW Dynamite. Maybe other people have a reason to apologize. Why don't we talk about the ratings?
Well, that's the big question. This was show number 300. They had to go all out, right, with the dream match with Doofus and Doofus 2 and all this other stuff. So they had to do a big number.
Well, AEW Dynamite on Wednesday, July 2nd, 2025 from Ontario, Canada. Excuse me, not Canada, Ontario, California. It's Ontario, CA. I read it as Ontario, Canada.
You've heard of the other white meat? This is the other Ontario.
8 to 10:08 p.m. on average, watched by 584,000 viewers.
Ouch! Well, they came back from Mexico and came back to somewhat of a little reality last week, but this is reality bites.
That's right, a movie from the 90s, but let's go to these ratings.
And love
here.
hurts.
Jim, let's go to
Love
these.
hurts, reality bites. Love also stinks. Love stinks and hurts. Did you know that? Whereas reality only bites.
All right, well, little do we know about what Peter Wolf would have thought of this week's Dynamite, but Jim, let's go to the quarter-hour breakdowns. These were compiled by WrestleNomics. Quarter 1, 8 to 8:15 p.m. The Adam Page, Death Rider, Samoa Joe live angle, 687,000 viewers.
Ooh, okay. Two things. One, they're still starting out low, and two, they're going to drop some if they started at that number and to hit their average. So this could be back to normal for an episode of Dynamite.
We go now to quarter 2, 8:15, 8:30 p.m. Mercedes Moné versus Mina Shirakawa.
Money!
Picture ads and bad audio, at least on our part. 593,000 viewers.
All righty, so we're second quarter. We're already under 600. They lost 94,000 people.
Well, we go now to quarter 3, 8:30 to 8:45 p.m. The continuation of Moné versus Mina. The post-match with Tony. The Young Bucks video. An ad break.
Money!
And the Young Bucks video, it was the second time. Came back from commercial break with more Bucks video and entrances. 592,000 viewers.
So they're pretty flat there, but they haven't actually seen the Cucamonga kids in the place. That should run them off.
There's an interesting story here on this episode, too, with the key demos. So just real quick, opened at 242, went to 232, now down to 211. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. Quarter 4, 8:45 to 9 p.m. AR Fox versus Bowens versus MJF versus Brody with picture-in-picture ads. And the post-match with the Hurt Syndicate and Mark Briscoe, 589,000 viewers.
And again, they only lost 3,000, so they've stayed 593, 592, 589. The folks that are there are not yet saying fuck it. But also now we've got MJF and Hurt Syndicate around. We should, I would think, gain something at the top of the hour.
Well, we go to the big 9 o'clock hour, 9 to 9:15 p.m., quarter 5. The Hurt Syndicate Jet Speed live angle.
Maybe they won't gain.
An ad break. And the start of Takeshita and the Young Bucks versus Bandito and Paragon. 577,000 viewers.
Yeah. 12,000, but at the top of the hour to see those folks, no.
Well, we go to quarter 6, 9:15 and 9:30 p.m. The continuation of Takeshita and the Bucks versus Bandito and the Paragon, or just Paragon. Picture-in-picture ads. The post-match with Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland, 576,000 viewers.
Good Lord, remarkably flat. Once they flat. Once they pick a number, they stay at 593, 592, 589. Now 577, 576. And again, I'm seeing there needs to be some attrition here in the next couple of quarters for them to make their average. They're going to start dropping like flies.
And once again, the key demo, the last time I gave you the number was 211, then it was 198, 197, 198. So steady, it dropped and then it stayed steady, just like the real show. Or just like the overall number, not the real show. Quarter 7, 9:30 to 9:45 p.m. An ad break. Swerve and Ospreay versus Drolistico and Mortos. Picture in picture. 523,000 viewers. Also, the low point in the key demo at 179.
Ouch, and that's another 53,000 people, and now they're officially down 164,000 from start to that point. And they can't have they're going to do themselves no favors coming up here in this last quarter, so.
Well, we go to quarter 8. I remind you we have an 8-minute overrun. 9:45 to 10 p.m. An ad break. And the start of Okada versus Ibushi with picture-in-picture. 541,000 viewers. 8-minute overrun. Continuation of the match and the post-match with the Callis family and Omega. 574,000. Here's what's interesting, too. Key demo was at 179 for quarter 7. Jumped to 241 for quarter 8. And then went to 267 for the overrun. I don't know if we've seen a jump like that in recent memory, and that's obviously surprising. The fact that there would only be a 300,000 viewer difference between the overall number and the key demo for Okada versus Ibushi is surprising.
Yeah, well, it's the younger folks that are more brainwashed to this horse shit because they didn't have as long to watch actual real pro wrestling. But we take the overrun out because, Jesus Christ, that's 30,000 people wandered in to watch Modern Family. I have a feeling most of those people are adults also. That's why I jumped there. But that they gained 18,000 from quarter 7 to quarter 8 to watch that sleepwalking contest, again, they ought to be turning cartwheels. But the more you show them that they can't do anything anymore, doesn't that take the luster off these guys? Shouldn't he at least try to, instead of putting them in with each other when neither one's going to try, put them in with somebody else that'll work hard?
Maybe you get more bang for your buck if you put them in there together. Even if the match isn't good, if they pop the key demo, which is the only thing the network cares about according to AEW, make it a 2-hour Iron Man match with these two.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Neither one are made out of iron. And that would be the longest 2 hours of anybody's life. Okay, so the dream match, instead of drawing 523,000 viewers, drew 541,000. But a bunch of people... Now, wait a minute. Hold on here. Something's wrong here. Explain this to me how this could happen, Brian. You say quarter 7 was 523,000 people and 179,000 in the key demo, right?
Correct.
Quarter 8 was 541,000 people. That is 18,000 people more than quarter 7. But the key demo is up 62,000 people. So does that mean that not only did 18,000 new people come into that segment, but suddenly 44,000 people that were watching quit, and another 44,000 in a different age group came in.
And by the way, that age
Hello?
group, and by the way, that age group is 18 to 49-year-old males. So it's not like, a small little age group of young people. 18 to 49 is a pretty big.
Well, yeah, but how do they gain a fucking, hold on, 41, how do they gain 62,000 people in an age group, but only gain 18,000 people overall? That means a bunch of other people in a different age group had to quit fucking watching. Suddenly, all by themselves. When did it go? 211, 198, 197, 198, 178. That, that's fluctuate. All of a sudden, how the fuck does that work?
Yeah, if those viewers hadn't come back, would this have been in the 400s for quarter 8?
Not even come back. But it's a whole different goddamn concoction of them.
That's true.
There are 18,000 more viewers overall, but 62,000 more in the key demo. So where'd the 44,000 people that were between the ages of 5 and 9 and 62 and 94 go?
So those lapsed New Japan fans.
There
was AEW Dynamite for July 2nd. Welcome to the summer.
Well, you know, it is summertime, Brian. You know what summer means? More warmth, more light, more day, more hours in the day, the daytime, the time to spend outside. You're going to be out and about enjoying the moments from sun up to sundown.
No.